All right, man. Listen,
Yeah.
we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
We got a lot to talk about. But one of the things I want to do is, so Connor's been working on our podcast behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and Friday night he slapped us around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
He,
I mean,
he slapped us.
listen. The veterans had a rough night Friday. Shout out to Connor. He killed us in the Sport Hitters Challenge.
What's up, Connor?
Yo.
Yep.
Hey, so we're just out here talking about how undefeated on Friday night. You pulled a win. Pulled a win in baseball.
Mets. I took my Padres, and
Yeah.
then I took the Mets to not be winning by the end of the fifth because they've been coming back all week, and I seen it. They've been coming back all week.
Yeah,
Did you get notes on that, Joe? Jersey, did you get notes on that?
Get notes on what? I'm solid.
He's got info on your Mets.
So we're human. We finally lost the series. Big deal.
No, I'm a Mets fan. I'm a huge Mets fan. That's my number one team. But I've been seeing they're not doing good in the beginning of the game, and they're coming back late. So
it was a good pick. Listen, I mean, you won. Tip my cap to you. Scherzer didn't lead after first 5. It was a bold pick, but good shit.
And listen, the other thing we were just doing a second ago before you jumped in here is we were talking about Tampa Bay Stadium.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how much, and I told him about how much you liked Tampa Bay Stadium because they had the concert there ahead of time. They had the DJ out there throwing some music.
I just like the festivities of it. I mean, to go to a ballpark, you like to enjoy other things other than just baseball. Yeah. They have plenty of that. The actual building itself isn't great, but inside it was a good time.
Yeah, we took it.
They had all different types of food, and you know what I'm saying. You had the bathroom. You had to walk upstairs to go into the bathroom. Remember that, Mitch? You were like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, fake steps. The fake steps.
And it's a great place to go watch batting practice. Go into the outfield because the ball lines out of that place. That was cool.
Bring a helmet because you can't see it half the time.
Oh, that's a good point. You lose it in the light.
Yeah, you can't see what's coming at you half the time. And then just make sure you have Uber or Lyft scheduled in because if it starts pouring, you don't want to walk a mile in that pouring rain to get back to your car.
Yeah, we parked 4 blocks up. We had to take an Uber to our car. That was funny. Yeah, it was
raining too much, way too much rain. But listen, Friday night was good. All weekend was good. We're gonna jump in and grab some NBA. All right, Connor, you're gonna have to defend it. We're gonna bring you back on when we talk about today's picks. So we want to see if you're gonna defend it today.
Yeah, defend it.
So listen, I am blown away.
Blown away
by what happened yesterday. Game 7 was the story of the weekend, right? We had them all across the.
Yeah. There was Game 7's left and right.
NHL. The weekend of all weekends for NHL, right? If you missed anything in the NHL this weekend, you're absolutely crazy because, listen, my Bruins didn't pull it out on Saturday. Right. They got beat. The other team was the better team. Carolina was by far the better team. They rolled out 4 lines that were better than what the Bruins could do. However, it's with 20 seconds to go in the game, we still have one last crack, and we got one last shot.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought you guys tied it. When there was 20 seconds to go and you cut it to 1, I said, it's over. There's only 20 seconds. There was a good attempt there late. I thought the puck was going to end up in the back of the net. Yeah. And I know you did too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we had the battle of the East, what I call the beasts of the East, and Tampa Bay reared its ugly head again because they have the best goalie in the world, right?
Goalies win in the hockey playoffs.
Goalies win. You go to bed thinking, okay, nothing's,
And you could agree with me. Toronto was the better team on ice that game. The whole game, they were relentless.
Yeah. He didn't, they were the better team, but experience showed that game. What I will say is that Vasilevsky is the only reason they were in the game to begin with, because of what he did in Game 6. But in Game 7, he stood there. It seemed like the team had all the confidence in the world in him. If you're Toronto, what do you do? At this point, what do you do if you're Toronto? I mean, do you break it up?
Where do you look? Because I don't think they did anything wrong. That's the crazy part. They played Toronto hockey in Game 7. They really did. I thought they were going to score. And then they took a goal off. They scored a goal. They took the goal off because there was was there a penalty before the goal or something? That turned momentum too back.
The interference? Yeah, they called the interference penalty.
They called it interference penalty. Exactly. It was almost like a pick in basketball where the guy sets a pick. Yeah, and that turned the momentum totally because I thought that goal getting taken off took the sails out of the arena. But yeah, Vasilevsky was standing on his head late. He kept the puck from going in the net, and Tampa did exactly what they had to do to win that game on the road. But that series was won in Game 6, like you said.
Listen, they're the beasts of the East. They're the best team, and they got the best goalie.
Best goalie. They got the best power play. Yeah, they're dangerous now.
I don't think either Carolina or Florida are better than them. I definitely don't think the Rangers are. I'm getting to the Rangers. Congratulations on the Rangers, by the way, who did what they had to do. Yeah, and here's the thing about that. That was by far, I don't know how to say his name, but your goalie's best game that he's played.
Easily.
And skating wise, and the front part of the team, Pittsburgh was the better team.
Better team the whole game from the jump. Better team.
Your goalie kept you in the game, and
listen, the Rangers defense is suspect. The Rangers defense is suspect.
Some of your goals, that goal by Zibanejad or whatever his name is,
Zibanejad, yeah.
It's like, how did he make that?
But listen, how about the goals that Pittsburgh scored? The first goal got cleared barely. It barely cleared the line here. I thought it wasn't a goal live. Obviously, I didn't see the angle till the replay. So they got not a cheap goal, but like a goal that was just kind of barely a goal. Then they get the goal where the guy kicks it up in the air, and I thought that was high stick.
I don't know what the rule is. I don't understand the rule, because to me it was clear as day that the guy's blade was higher than the goalpost.
Me too.
And he made contact.
There
with
was
the
one
mitt.
angle,
and he made contact with the mitt. I thought that was interference. If you make contact,
first of all, you can't even kick a puck. Like, you're not supposed to be able to kick a puck forward, but to turn it into a high stick. It was two things that happened wrong on that play. I thought the one angle showed clear as day that it was a high stick, meaning the blade of the where it hits the puck is above the crossbar. It's not supposed to count. So every call that went to Toronto for review went to Pittsburgh's way. They called that a goal. And it was unfortunate, but listen, the Rangers got outplayed. There was too many chances left and right. If Shesterkin didn't have his best game, we would have easily lost that game. The Rangers somehow survived. I mean, even Game 6. Think about it. Rangers are down 3-1 in the series.
All right, down. That's what I keep saying about hockey. I don't think 3-0 or 3-1. I don't ever consider a hockey team out, just because what a goalie can do in hockey is like no other sport. When you think about any other sport,
right?
You can get outplayed. You can be completely outplayed in hockey and win a game because of your goalie.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. In basketball, if you get completely outplayed, you're going to lose. In football, if you get completely outplayed, you're going to lose. And in baseball, if you get completely outplayed,
the pitcher could save a team in a way. One guy could save a team. But
if they commit 5 errors behind them, they're probably, and the other team's hitting home runs, they're going to lose. Right. Whereas in hockey, it's just a hot goalie can win you a game and keep it close until you get that one crazy puck bounce.
And that's my point, though. Well, that's what it brings on the Rangers, though. They were down 3-1 and down 2-0 on the road in Game 6, and somehow still won the series. It's phenomenal. But I do not give them any chance against Carolina. I'll tell you that right now.
I do. I definitely do with Kreider and
our defense isn't good enough. Our defense is not good enough.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, Zibanejad. Our big guys didn't play well until yesterday, where they kind of got goals. Panarin with the game winner. Kreider got a goal. But I'm telling you, our defense was given way too many opportunities, and Carolina is a different ball game when it comes to defense. So I think.
Listen, here's the one thing that I'm really excited about, because we've been sitting here saying Colorado's a sure thing. Let me tell you something. Anybody that stayed up and got treated, if you got treated to watching the Calgary-Dallas game last night, because I ranked that as a top 5 game I've ever seen in hockey. What we watched last night was off the charts.
Ottinger was a special player last night. Unfortunate that he came on the losing end, but boy, did he. What was the shots outshot? 67 to 29?
60 to 25, I guess. Yeah. At one time, it was 57 to 26.
And these weren't just easy saves. I'm talking about saving the day saves constantly.
Listen, I'll get into Johnny Hockey in a second, because that was one of the greatest games I've seen a guy have, and I'm so impressed with that dude. But the thing that really stuck out to me was when Lucic got loose and came in overtime and shot the puck not low, but not high. If you looked at what Calgary was doing all night, they were shooting high. So he was playing high right?
Yeah.
He was anticipating that. For him to make that save on Lucic, lasered a wrist shot, which I'm like, oh, that's got to go in. Snapped it right up. I'm like, wow, this guy really is on it. He's not. If he's cheating one way or the other, he's react. I couldn't believe it at that
I
point. I'm like,
couldn't
whoa.
believe how many times the puck didn't go in where I thought the game was over. I mean, I'm talking about even like
Dallas,
5
too.
times right before the game-winning goal that Johnny snuck in over his shoulder from the side angle, which was crazy. And that's really the only way you could have beat him last night. There was like 6 instances where I lifted my head because I was rooting for Calgary myself, and I thought the game was over, and somehow Ottinger sitting there with the puck. How about the one where he lost his stick and kept the puck out? I mean, the guy was unbelievable, and he's a rookie. He's a rookie, that goalie.
Well, he played last year. He played.
Yeah,
He got 20
he played
games
a couple games. He got called up late in the game, late in the season.
So at the end of the day, that Johnny Hockey, I had no idea. Listen,
he was special all year, though. He's just in Calgary, so a lot of people don't know about him.
Don't get a chance to watch.
Yeah.
He was what they do with him on the ice. You can't. I've never seen a guy be able to get into the offensive zone as easily as he does. Wherever he is, he's going to get into the offensive zone and set the team up.
Yeah.
And then pass it off, and he's going to get you into the right spots and get you situated. It was amazing to watch how they structure everything around. It reminded me of Magic Johnson in basketball. That's what watching him reminded me of for them. It's a fast break team, but it's always one guy dictating everything. No, I thought of this is Magic Johnson on the ice, and then I start looking up. The guy's 5'9", 150 freaking pounds. This is a very small dude that is out there with guys that are 6'2", 6'3", and he just dominates a game. And let me tell you something. Some of the shots that he had are goals.
Oh, yeah.
Ottinger stopped some stuff from him that I'm like, and you could tell at one point he actually said, wow.
Yeah, you saw his reaction after he shot a goal. He thought it was over too, and you could just see the frustration. Like, what do I have to do to beat this guy? Listen, I understand the hype of the moment. You watch that game, but to say that you can't tell me that alone is a reason to believe they're going to beat Colorado, because Colorado is a different animal.
I think they run 3 lines out there that can put up points. That's when you know you have a championship contender team. Can you get like multiple points out of multiple lines? And the answer with them is yes.
Yeah,
you can. Multiple lines.
But listen, I'll tell you what. So you could do that with the Blues too. And I think Colorado's got their hands full with the Blues before we start talking about Calgary. And now we got Calgary.
Colorado's going to get past St. Louis.
Oh, they will, but they're not going to give up. They're not going to make it easy. They're going to get two games. They're going to get 2 games and make it tough. Calgary, Edmonton, though. I understand. Edmonton struggled with the LA Kings. They got to Game 7. And Calgary, Dallas is the only reason that they got to 7 games against Dallas is because of Ottinger and the way that Dallas plays. But listen, Edmonton, Calgary is must-watch television. That just the explosiveness on both sides. You got Johnny Gudrueaux on one side, you got McDavid on one, you got Draisaitl on one side, you got Lindholm on the other. They
mirror each other. They mirror each other,
and they're 2 hours away. You could literally drive 2 hours and go back and forth from each city. To Canada, Canada's been waiting for a team. Not one team. Now they got 2 teams battling to get to the conference finals. It's going to be electric. Both those home crowds are electric for sure. I'm not picking Calgary or Edmonton yet. I don't have to pick that yet. Listen, I think we got a show tomorrow. I'm gonna make that pick. I'm not picking Calgary.
Battle of Alberta. Listen, I became a Calgary fan last night. What I saw, I'm like, this. I like watching it. It was fun hockey to watch. And the amount of respect that they showed Ottinger when they lined up and went through the handshakes
every single person had something to say. Every single person. You could just tell
the amount of respect was off the charts because Calgary dominated. I mean, absolutely dominated. And the thing went into overtime.
And listen, there was a couple chances. I thought Dallas ended it.
Well, Sagan should have won the game. Sagan missed that puck when he went late. He missed that puck. He should have put that puck in.
How about late? Are you talking about the one that got passed across the crease and he just missed the tap in? That
Yeah,
one, it
it
should
went
have
wide.
ended right there.
Yeah,
It went wide.
he ended up crashing into the goalie. Yeah,
Yeah,
he should that should have been a goal.
that should have
100%.
been a
It was a
goal.
great play.
100%.
Yeah, it was a great play. It should have been a goal. All right, listen, it just got me all
But listen,
jazzed
that
up.
just to
I
say
did
that
well.
hockey,
Listen,
game
I did
sevens
well.
in hockey is the
Home
one.
teams.
There's
You gotta
not
take
another
home teams.
sport. There's not another sport where at any second a team could be sent home. Literally, like you're on the edge of your seat, and any second the game could be over. That's the only sport that brings that. So that was excellent. First time we got 2 game sevens in the same day, since like the 90s. So that was excellent television for NHL fans.
All right, listen. Here's some stuff that I know that you. Here's how I feel. Here's how I feel. Is there any reason to really talk about the NBA?
2 names, 2 words. Luka Doncic. That's it. That's all you have to hear. Luka Doncic straight up bitch slapped the Phoenix Suns last night. Okay, and this all started when Devin Booker tried to steal the ball away from Luka. I think that was game 2, 3, or 4. He tried to steal the.
It was the last game the Suns won.
Game 5 then.
Yeah,
it was game 5.
It was
game
game
5.
The Suns won.
And literally, you could tell it ticked off Luka to another dimension of how pissed off he was at that. And since then, it was, bro, Dallas finished off the Suns by a combined score of 60 points in the last 2 games. You know what I'm saying?
I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to say about this. And here's there's a bunch of things that this comes up. Number one, if you were a big believer that Chris Paul was one of the best point guards of all time, this has to affect.
He's
that
37 years old, though. You have to throw that into effect.
First of all, Beverly. I don't know if you saw this. Did you see
saw
Beverly's comments today?
That's why they put him on First Take, to say crazy shit like he was saying.
You don't think there's something to this? Because
I'm not defending
he
Chris Paul
can't
at
carry
all.
it. He could not carry the team. And number 3 is this. A lot of this falls on the coach. Within the first 5 minutes, you could tell Ayton, the moment was too big for DeAndre Ayton. He didn't want to touch the ball. When he did, he looked horrible. Everything about his body, everything about DeAndre
I have
Ayton.
so many thoughts about this, though, that I could say. Like, literally,
he should have been out of the game.
The
they should have pulled
NBA
him right out of the game.
Listen, let me just put it to Luka had more points than Devin Booker in this series, more assists than Chris Paul, more rebounds than DeAndre Ayton, and more steals than Mikal Bridges. And the home team, the number 1 seed, was down 50 points on their home court. Unbelievable. Like, literally, we were just talking about the Warriors losing by down 50 the other night, saying we'll never see that again.
So
dude,
when I think of the all-time great point guards,
Luka
I think of John Stockton. I think Stockton, Magic, and I think Isaiah. There is not a chance in hell that any one of them would have been down in a game 7 by 45 or 50 points. They wouldn't have allowed it.
Can't disagree with you.
They would have said, you know what? I'm not passing the ball. I'm going to do it all myself. And all 3 of them could do it themselves if they needed to. Chris Paul, at any time, should have just started taking little 10-foot jump shots to keep his team in a game, and he didn't. It snowballed onto him. What happened to Devin Booker? I have no idea. But if you're the Suns,
he got cursed as soon as he said that's the Luka special. When he was faking and he said that's the Luka special, that moment, Devin Booker was not Devin Booker the rest of the series. It was unbelievable.
You got to take a serious look at this team. And first of all, the organization's in a lot of problems. The front office has a lot of problems going on because their owner's being investigated. There's all kinds of crap going on. So I don't know who's calling the shots there, but whoever it is going to have to take a serious look at this team, because isn't this year 2 in a row where they were a top seed, or everybody thought they were going to do well?
Yeah.
They beat the Lakers last year, right?
They went to the finals last year. Everyone said, hey, they only beat teams who had their key players injured. Kind of true. As soon as the Bucks got healthy in the finals, they won 4 straight, because Suns were up 2-0 in that finals last year. And then this year they were up 2-0 again. This is now the 8th time Chris Paul's been up 2-0 in the playoffs and have lost the series. I mean, you could say all you want. Chris Paul, I love him as a player. In his prime, straight being a floor general.
Who was the refs? Who were the refs yesterday? Any chance Foster was one of the refs?
Not sure. I don't think so.
We would have heard about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I only want to say I don't think so because I would have heard about that. But let me just put, Luka had 27 points at halftime. The Suns had 27 points at halftime. Something that just seems so impossible. There were so many parts of this game yesterday that just listen. The Suns are a disgrace for that performance. They cannot be let off the hook here. Disgrace for that performance. Okay, I mean, there's so many levels to it. How bad it was. It was so bad. And then how many times we're going to see the NBA blowout? 2 Game 7s yesterday. I was excited. Both were blowouts. Like, I'm just sick of the NBA, man.
Well,
It's
I don't
just
think Milwaukee quit. What I will say is the Suns quit. There's a
Suns
serious
quit.
indictment
Suns
on this.
Suns
They didn't even show up for the second half.
They didn't show up. They're at home in a Game 7. Listen, we were talking about the Warriors being crazy. Okay, that was a crazy fucking situation.
Yeah.
This wouldn't happen in the regular season, let alone Game 7, number 1 seed in the league at home. It's mind-boggling what we watched last night.
Yeah.
And Luka Doncic is a killer, man. That guy is something else, and I wouldn't put it past him to get by the Warriors either. I'm not doubting Luka Doncic ever again. I'll tell you that right now. He's the next face of the NBA. He's the next face of the NBA.
I actually think now the Golden State's probably the favorites to win this thing.
Oh, they're the favorites. I think they're plus 120, and the Celtics are plus 135. They're both kind of the favorites.
They get the championship pedigree. They get they're the ones with the championship
just listen.
pedigree.
Listen how Vegas cleans up again. The Brooklyn got eliminated in the first round. They didn't win a game. The futures on the Nets down the drain. Lakers, they didn't even compete this year. Those futures, they were the number 1 future team to win it all, down the drain. You got Milwaukee now, was the third number 1, the future, down the drain. Suns, down the drain. Vegas is cleaning up on the NBA right now. And I'm sorry, man. The Nets get swept. That same team, Milwaukee, without their second best player, goes 7 games. It's a crazy sport. It's very hard to predict. And I'm starting to lean with you. I'm not a fan of the NBA anymore.
It's just too hard to watch. At the end of the day, listen, I will give a lot of credit to the Celtics because I thought they were just going to fold after that debacle in Game 5.
Agreed. But you could also look at it as they killed themselves. They had a chance to end it there.
Listen.
Tatum showed up in Game 6, had one of the all-time games.
Showed us toughness, is what he showed us. Because
Ultimate
he came
team
back,
game yesterday. Ultimate
he
team
came
game
back,
from Boston.
And they did. They all bought in and said, you know what, we're not out of this. You didn't see it. You didn't hear anybody pointing fingers. You didn't hear any problems in the locker room. They bought in. So I gotta be honest, man. And I will say this. I think the reason is Al Horford.
I think his leader, Grant Williams. Grant Williams showed up in this series. Excellent
Al Horford's leadership. Al Horford's leadership, I think, is huge for those guys. I don't think they are where they are without.
And I don't know where this Horford came from, because this same Al Horford was on Philly last year, couldn't score 10 points.
I don't even care about him scoring. I just think as far as a leadership role goes, like to keep people together.
But I'm saying he looked washed. Like, I'm talking about, how is Al Horford still playing basketball? He looks absolutely washed. To see what he's doing right now, incredible. Tip my cap to Al Horford. He's doing big things for them. And hey, listen, the Celtics are tough. It's going to be tough to take them out. But Miami Celtics is going to be a hell of a matchup. You got 2 teams with dogs on them.
Well, listen, let's move on, because there's some stuff going on in MLB. You know, and here's one of them.
Shady's back. Your boy.
So I didn't know he was going to be back. And now I'm back to having to look at where he's going to be and if he's going to be behind the plate. Because yesterday, Angel Hernandez was back behind the plate. He was back behind the plate, and it didn't take long to realize this is a bad move if you bet on this game. It's that simple. I really believe, here's what I believe about the guy. I believe he needs contacts, and he refuses to get them because there's something in clauses that if somebody has contacts, they might not be able to be a home plate umpire, maybe. You can't be that blind. You cannot be this blind.
It's unbelievable. It's got to be on purpose. He's got to be doing it on purpose this time. He's trolling now at this point. I don't even believe it.
Do you think this is like a brand he's trying to build?
I think he's running with it, man. I think he's actually doing it on purpose now, because there was a couple pitches that were right down the middle, and he just looks the other way.
Pitchers are walking off the field.
Hitters are giving up. Oh, I'm out.
Hitters are walking back to the dugout, and he's like, nope, that was a ball. That comes back in. It's
starting the trend where I think they're going to move to the automated strike zone. Angel Hernandez is the guy that's really.
They have to, otherwise you're going to lose money. Gamblers are not going to keep.
Exactly.
They're not going to keep this up.
Exactly.
We're not going to put up with it, right? We will not put up with what we're seeing.
Deliberately
right
being told what we're seeing isn't what it is, and that starts with instant replay, and now it's becoming the strikes and balls. The simple thing, the umpire's one job and he can't do it right. Nah, that we ain't going to fly with that. So they got to get it fixed ASAP.
So give me a story on this, because I know you had a great one yesterday.
just tell you, there's always something around the corner when you're gambling. There's just something you've never seen before to get you. And last night I had a mini. It was a little mini parlay I put together. I'm not going to get into what all was in the parlay. Let's just know it came down to live bet Cardinals minus 10.5. Okay. They go up 13 going into the ninth. I'm high fiving. I'm saying this is money. Giants are going to give up quick 3 outs. All of a sudden, they zoom in on the mound, and I'm saying, and I'm looking around. I'm saying, is that Albert Pujols? And I couldn't believe my eyes. Hey, listen, a lot had to happen still for me to lose, right?
Yeah.
I see him start throwing lollipops outside. Walking guys. And I'm saying, no. I said, no. They're not going to take this from me. So he somehow gets a guy to pop up 1 out.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys on base. I'm praying he doesn't throw a lollipop over the middle of the plate. Boom, line drive, a ground ball right to the shortstop. I'm saying, get out of it. It's a double play. Get out of it. Beats it out by a million. I'm talking about bang, bang, safe. I turn and look to my coworkers. I say, you know what's coming next. I swear to God on anything. I said, I guarantee this next guy hits a 3-run homer. Guarantee. They're all looking at me. They're laughing. The next pitch, it was like a softball pitch at a men's league. The outfielder's just looking, and I'm just with my hand on my head saying, oh my God. I texted Mitch instantly. I said, you will not believe the way I just lost the bet. I could not believe it. What are they doing, though?
I was trying to figure it out because the Cardinals had a monster lead.
Right. There's no reason
Rangers
why
just
I should have got affected.
I'm like, why am I getting this text? I got to hear this one.
Oh, my God. I never take live spreads at 10 in a big. I just said, you know what? I said the Cardinals aren't going to give this lead up. I said the Giants are going to try to get out of town here.
Yeah.
But little do they know, the secret weapon, Albert Pujols, comes in. And it's just, it really bothers me because it's like, why are we watching that? Like, why am I sitting there watching that? And it's unbelievable. So that was fun last night. Great end to my night. But the Rangers won, so I was happy. It is what it is.
Couple other things happened.
Another ridiculous thing happened yesterday in baseball, right?
Listen, there is no explanation for throwing a no-hitter and losing. You really can't put that into words.
I was shocked that it happened as recent as 2008.
Throwing a no-hitter and losing because you walked 2 guys and then somebody else comes in and walks a guy. Did they not have the infield in at 0-0? They threw the ball to first base.
I think they tried to beat out a double play, no? Or did he just throw it to first?
Well, then that's on the manager. That just tells you got a bad manager for not bringing that play should have gone home. No matter what, you come home with the ball.
I didn't see the play yet, so I don't know how it unfolded as far. But
it was a ground ball to shortstop, and you're right. They tried to turn 2. You come home with the ball, no matter it's 0-0.
Right.
In a game where there's no hits, so runs are at a premium. It's not like everybody's hitting the ball and it's 8-9.
Yeah.
We'll give up the run.
You automatically should come home.
You come home with the ball, no matter what.
It's just so typical Reds for the season, though, to lose a game that they know hit the team. That's just typical Reds right now. Hunter Green, he's the Jekyll and Hyde of Hunter Green. He was awesome yesterday again. Unfortunately,
walks, right?
That's the thing. He was a little wild yesterday, and unfortunately, in the 8th inning, it got him. But it's unfathomable to lose a game not giving a hit. It really is.
Yeah, when you sent that text, I'm like, there's no way. I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah. No, me either. I saw it come across my phone. I said, wait, Reds no hit the Pirates but lose the game? I said, how? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
but like I said, it happened in 2008. I thought that would be a 1960 stat. Like I said, 2008. I don't remember this happening.
I think I saw the Red Sox up there in '92 as well when they put the stats up there. So Detroit won 2 in a row. Detroit now has won 2 in a row. They reached 100 runs.
Screwball was on the mound, I believe. I told you that's the only time that you could look at the Tigers as a formidable way to bet because he is awesome. A nice young pitcher, and they have a good staff. 3 or 4 of them are on the injured list though. They got Manning, they got Casey Mize, they got a couple good hurlers. But Screwball's the number 1 guy on that team going forward. He's been awesome all year.
They're back on the road today. They're going to be a monster dog because they're 3-10
But they're
on the
still
road.
winning, not scoring more than 4 or 5 runs. That's the thing.
Well, when you say they're still winning, they've got some wins.
They
They
swept
don't
the
have a good
Orioles.
record.
Let's not get crazy. You know, they swept the Baltimore Orioles, but I'm saying
Yeah.
they won 2-0, 3-1. You know, they weren't killing the ball still. So that
No,
offense
they're
still
12
has
and
problems.
23. They're 12 and 23, and they've only scored. They've actually just reached
Just
100
reached
runs.
100. Wow,
It
35
took
games in.
35 games to get to 100 runs. 10 years ago, we were talking about teams scoring 6, 7 runs a game.
I
Now we're
know.
talking about a team struggling to get to 3.
Yeah.
That to me is absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm scratching my head on if you're a Tigers fan. Think about people that live in Detroit.
Yeah.
You got the Pistons who are absolutely horrible now. You got the
Lions.
Lions who are abysmal. You got the Tigers who are abysmal.
The Red Wings are awful.
And the Red Wings now are awful.
Yeah, it's bad right now in Detroit. That's why the murder rate's up. But but it's bad in Detroit, a sports city for sure. Oh my God!
There is a show on TV, like it's a pawn shop show, and it's from Detroit. People are going to start going in there and pawning half of their tickets for $1, $2. Give me by season tickets. Take them for $1.
Oh man, believe it or not, the Tigers are the best team in that city, which is bad. 12 and 23. They're the best team going in Detroit right now. It's bad there. Brutal.
All right.
What else happened? The Dodgers almost got swept in 4 games yesterday.
Listen, and what happened? 3 of the 4 games, the Phillies bullpen imploded. It's
yes.
Just two of those 3 games, they were able to come back and win.
Yeah.
The Phillies are hitting. The Phillies now all of a sudden, with Bryce Harper as a DH and not playing the outfield, are one of the best offenses in baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then listen, that's a big series to creep up on the Mets because the Mets finally lost 2 out of 3, and they won what 5 out of 6. So they kind of made a little bit of ground.
Listen, if anything, we keep saying this, and I'll say it still. If they make a
bullpen,
move
yeah,
and they get 2 guys in that bullpen to do better than they're doing now, they are going to be. They're going to give you
turn
guys
it around. I get it. Yeah, I totally agree.
If they don't, then they won't. And again, I'll go back to the comparisons. The Washington Nationals, the year they won, you saw almost all the same stuff. They could crush the ball. They'd have late leads and give them up.
They had good starters. They had great offense. Yep, and it was the bullpen blowing games left and right. They tightened it up, and they won the World Series. And I think that's the same thing we're seeing with the Phillies. I agree with you.
Absolutely. So, listen, I think if you're the Dodgers, you got to start scratching your head. Boy, our pitching we thought was the key to us winning, and all of a sudden we just got shillelaghly.
I totally agree. I don't think their pitching is in a good shape right now. First of all, Walker Buehler's got tagged his last 2 times on the hill. The young phenom Urias is getting tagged left and right. Kershaw's on the IL. Dodger fans need to be a little worried. I mean, obviously not too concerned, but they're kind of looking a little bit back to the field here.
And listen, the Padres only half game back, and I keep going back to this. They didn't look good in St. Louis. They may lose today, but the Giants are a real team that people are going to have to deal with.
I agree.
Anyway, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, roll a commercial, come right back and talk about today's lineup in baseball. All right. So there's no hockey today. There's no NBA today. There's a pretty heavy slate for MLB.
Yeah, so pure MLB night.
Pure MLB day. Some of the things that I look for here. We're gonna bring Connor back in because it's his right to defend his win and hear what he's got going on in this today. So let's break in here. Oh wow, he's got a road team right off the bat. Man, you went with the Astros?
Don't question him. Don't question his picks.
You went with the Astros. No, I'm just a Red Sox guy. That's all. Who knows that? And so the D-backs.
Looking now, I like it. Me and Connor have 3 different games all the way up.
So here's the one thing. What stinks about doing things right now is it's hard to see the lineups because there are some things that are very important in today's games. Number one, your team, Houston. Bregman is one of the best Fenway Park hitters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
When he comes to Fenway Park, he absolutely crushes the ball. He loves hitting in Fenway. Number two, I read an article that Seattle might be missing some players because they're in Toronto and some of their players aren't vaccinated. So they might be missing some players. Number three, the game I'm really looking for in trying to figure out, and their lineup's not out. Oh, it just came out. Buxton. Okay, so Buxton is playing on the road in Oakland. So have you noticed that Correa seems to be on the DL every other week? He's on it for a 10-day stint. So Correa's back on the DL. Larnach's on the DL, but Buxton's in the lineup. So I think those are the, some things that I'm looking for. You like the Angels. Who's pitching today for the Angels? Do you know, Connor?
Noah Syndergaard's pitching.
Noah Syndergaard, former Met.
Yeah.
Is that why you guys are taking him? Because he's a former Met?
You guys, I don't have him.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's pitching really well right now, isn't he? He's doing really good for them.
High 90s.
The D-backs. Who's on the mound for the D-backs? Who's on the mound for the Diamondbacks?
Mad Bum.
Mad Bum's been awesome this year. He has less than 2 ERA. And he last start he went 7 innings. I think he's starting to get into his groove.
Where's the game at? Arizona?
LA.
Tough pick,
this is the time to get LA right now. Their bats aren't hot right now. They're having struggle scoring.
And what do you got, Joe? Let's see what you got. I'm looking at.
I like Toronto today. I think Toronto. Listen, not Gilbert. The guy pitching for the Mariners tonight.
Flexen.
Flexen doesn't strike people out.
He's not good on the road.
He's a contact hitter. He's not good on the road. Mariners had to travel across the custom borders into Toronto today after taking 2 or 3 from the Mets. Like you said, they're missing some players in the lineup. I think Toronto bounces back heavy at home today. I think they're a solid pick. Mets game's postponed tonight. Just got the alert. There is bad weather coming. I could see it out my window. I got the Pirates today. I like the Pirates as a dog. They get no hit yesterday. And now they're playing Wade Miley and the Cubs. I like their lineup. It's kind of sneaky good.
Wade Miley still pitching?
Still pitching. He got lit up last time in his debut. I don't believe in him. Peters has actually been pretty good for the Pirates. So I'll take that 11.8.
I'd like a shot at hitting against Wade Miley.
Oh yeah.
I could bet 100 against Wade Miley.
I agree.
I could bet 100 against him.
And then I got Oakland. I like Oakland against Minnesota. I know you said Buxton's in the lineup, but this rookie pitcher for the A's has been solid in his first 3 games. I like what I see. And I like that line is a little bait. Twins minus 130. Everyone's going to take the Twins in that game. I'm going to take a shot with
and they're missing. Listen, they're missing Larnach and they're missing Correa. So they're missing 2 starters. So
A's are starting to hit too. A's are actually starting to put together a good offense. So
I went. I'm on some of the same stuff you are. I faded Detroit. I went right back and faded Detroit and took the Rays at home. I'm with you on Toronto. Flexen's not a good road pitcher, and they're going to be missing a lot of guys. And then something I always look for is happening. So Santa Zanella for Colorado, who is one of those guys that I look for at home, just like Gibson at home, Flexen at home. Santazanella is another guy that when he's pitching at home, you get great value on it. It usually is against the Dodgers or the Giants are a good team, and you get really good value on it. So I got the Rockies today to beat the
I like that pick.
Giants.
The Rockies are actually hitting. They're home. They've been home for a while. They're comfortable. They've been putting up runs. I kind of like that pick today too. Since I looked at it,
they got smoked by the Royals over the weekend, and I think a lot of people are going to jump on the Giants and think that they're just going to bounce back because of the Giants. But listen, the Giants are. Here's the one thing about the Giants: they are a fly ball hitting team, like they talked about yesterday. It's why they play so well at home. It gets up in the air and they hit the balls to right field. They're going to be hitting the balls in the air, so that they're if I was an over/under player, this would be an easy over because I think there's going to be some runs in this game. This is not going to be a 5-4 game or a 3-2 game. There should be a lot of runs in this game. But I think both starters have to get deep because both starting pitching staffs and bullpens just got worked over the weekend.
Yeah, they did. They sure did.
So I think that the starters are going to have to stay out there and pitch a little while. And I think it's Wood on the mound for Giants, who's a really good pitcher. I just like Santazanella at home.
It's that time of the year, though, in Colorado where that ball's flying all over the place. So whenever they set the total at 12, I mean, it doesn't always go over. I'm not saying it always goes over, but majority of the time that they know that there's going to be runs in that game that day.
Wow. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. I think I feel pretty confident that.
I love my 3 picks, honestly. So we'll see.
Listen, I'm feeling pretty confident that Rook's not going to get us today.
But I did say that
I'm
Friday. I did say I felt confident in my 3 picks on Friday.
No, I think I got it today, y'all boys.
Yeah, we'll see.
There
Oh,
it is.
wait. And my pick. Let's just put this out there. My pick of the day is now
not yet. All right. What is your pick of the day?
It's the Blue Jays, but I want you to lay the 1.5. I think that's plus 125. I think the Blue Jays tee off today on flexing, and they finally get it going. They've been struggling late. Blue Jays play of the day minus 1.5.
All right, Connor, we're going to give you one. Go ahead, throw it out there.
I like the Yankees for the play of the day. You got Luis Severino behind the mound, and bats are hot.
Orioles are dreadful.
They're playing at Fenway South, right? Is that Fenway South?
Yeah, Fenway South, exactly.
So, listen, my pick of the day is Cincinnati. I love the number. You're getting plus money on the guy at home, who pitches really well at home. I just like it. And the crazy part is, I'm the guy that keeps being the big proponent that San Francisco is a team to reckon with, and we'll be there at the end of the year. But
in the last 2 days, you're fading them.
I've been fading them, and this is one of the things that I look for.
You've been right when you faded them too, though. That's the point that out there.
Pick of the day is for me is Colorado.
Go ahead and parlay Colorado, Yankees, Toronto minus 1.5. See what happens.
There's your 3-teamer. One quick thing I want to bring up. So as we get further and further in this, I have to watch a lot of TikTok now. I have to sit there and go on TikTok and watch all these pros. I can't get over one guy, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he is the guy that, remember when Sincere McCormick was out of the college bowl game and he said, take UTSA as the pick of the year in bowl football.
Yeah,
and they got slapped around. So his pick of like the year in baseball yesterday was the Yankees over. And I'm like, well, okay, let me look at something, because I know one thing about the Yankees that people probably aren't noticing. I think they lead the league in runs allowed, meaning the lowest number of runs allowed in baseball.
Yeah.
And I just keep wondering to myself, because he's filming a lot at some of the places that we go to. I've never seen the guy, but he does these TikToks from places that we frequent in Vegas,
right?
Different casinos and stuff. And I'm just wondering. I'm wondering who's going to punch him, who's listening to him, and then they're going to end up punching him because they've lost a lot of money.
Yeah,
his pick of the years and pick of the weeks. I just
you don't get how he has a platform. I got you.
Well, everybody now has one. It's called TikTok.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
everybody has one.
He thinks that he's invincible, but yet with those guys that give out losers like that, you're right. With the way that he does it, he needs to be careful. He doesn't come across somebody who lost a lot of money.
We do this for fun. We go out and we do follow our picks, but I just find it very interesting that the TikTok keeps flashing and I keep seeing all this stuff. So my fade yesterday was that I took Texas in game because he called Boston a lock. And so I immediately jumped in and took the Texas Rangers at 0-0. And 2 innings later, they put up like 5 or 6 runs and blew out the Red Sox. Yeah. So I would like to thank him, because maybe that is a way that I'm going to start doing things.
That's a way to look at it. You could fade him and make money.
Fading him.
You know what I'm saying?
But it was fun. All right, guys, listen. Connor, you came on here and you're defending your Friday. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and roll with your Yankees pick tonight. Joe's rolling with
Blue Jays.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Toronto, and I'm rolling with Colorado.
I'm back to back, just playing on it.
NBA playoffs back tomorrow. NHL playoffs back tomorrow. Tonight, all baseball. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Check back in tomorrow.